Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there. We will eat your brain.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Feels like protein. All right, kids, welcome back to another episode of the Ultimate Spider Cast here in Venom October. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, that deadly menace that everyone wants to
Lilith
capture.
is that a sentient tongue hellfire reporting for duty?
Oh my. Okay, now I'm going to play that drop for Justin. All right, yes, that's right. We're back with more Venom. This time we're going to cover Venom Lethal Protector from 1993. And as we said, next time we'll cover the more current one. So compare and contrast. But yes, buckle in, kids, because this is so 1993.
It hurts a little.
I mean, I'd almost somewhat kind of forgotten that it slipped my mind for 2 seconds that, boy, Venom drooled a lot in the 90s.
Yeah. Gotta keep that tongue moist.
Oh my! Oh my!
Is that a sentient tongue?
Oh my! And yes, that's who that drop was about, kids. Although we'll pretend it wasn't.
Is that a sentient tongue?
All right, so and we are turning this episode around pretty quick after the last one, so no new comics this time. But
Thank God it's 6 issues that we're covering, right?
I know that's what I was gonna say. I'd be like, well, that can't hurt because we do have 6 issues to do. So
You want to hear our thoughts on the previous, on this week's books? You're gonna have to see the previous episode.
that's right, that's right. And again, and in next episode we should have more new books to cover.
More new books. It's almost like he's Batman. Sorry, Ray.
Oh my! Ray's like, how dare you?
His OCD. He's just kicked in. Gotta push the button.
Batman, my favorite character.
Oh my sweet summer child! Like I can't make your OCD kick. All right. Sorry, kids, just getting this. Should be synopses for these. And again, this was the first Venom miniseries, so again, you'll see it's guest starring Spider-Man. Can you
You know
imagine?
what? Honestly, Spider Man's the bad guy.
Exactly. But do you think they were just like, can Venom carry his own series? And maybe we should throw Spider-Man in here.
You'd have thought that. Well, yeah, they kind of had to put it here.
Put it here. Yeah, I mean, again, the very first one, I think they were like, yeah, can Venom hold his own series? As we started the big long run of 90s, just like pumping out Venom miniseries after miniseries. One was barely done, the next one was starting. All right.
I like the little corners. Guest starring Spider Man.
I know, yeah. And then this was a foil cover.
Yep.
Current Marvel. Current day Marvel.
Honestly, whatever comic book company wants to give me foil, I am yours. All you have to do is just do it.
Oh my.
Just do the thing.
And again, that's what they should have did with like again, we'll get to this next time, but like the more current the Venom Lethal Protector miniseries. They should have did the first issue in foil. It's like we're doing the 90s, let's do it.
If you're gonna do something, do it right.
Hey oh. All right, let's jump into this. All right, so yes, kids, 6 issues. Here we go. Venom Lethal Protector Volume 1, number 1 from February 1993. Dark Soul Drifting. Writer David Michelini. Penciler, yeah, Mark Bagley. Inker Sam De La Rosa and Al Milgram. Colorist Marie Javins.
Oh
Letterer
my
Richard.
God, Marie, what are you doing here?
Getting paid. Letterer Richard Starkings and editor Danny Fingeroff.
Don't get fingered.
All right. In the city of San Francisco, a mugger corners a young woman in an
San
alleyway.
Francisco treat.
Oh god. And I'm like, this is the Marvel
Because it's
universe.
Uncle Ben.
Oh, this is the Marvel universe. It doesn't matter what city it is. Somebody's
What's
always
that
getting.
rice-a-roni? I don't know.
Shh. Someone didn't take their meds today.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm like, someone's getting mugged in an alley. This could be any city in the Marvel universe or in the DC universe. Discovering that she doesn't have a whole lot of money, the mugger decides to rape the woman. Jeez.
Kevin
However,
Smith, that you?
what? What you say?
Kevin Smith, is that you?
Burn.
I'm
Burn.
just kidding.
As writer, kids. That's what she meant. Discovering that she doesn't. Yeah, however, before he could commit this horrific act, oh no, he would have ripped their shirt off or something. This is Kevin Smith. He's interrupted by Venom. Disgusted by such a vile human being, Venom forces tendrils from his symbiote into the mugger's nose and mouth.
Give the old face hugger action.
Yeah. Well, the symbiote is an alien.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I don't think those are tentacles.
Suffocating him to death. With the mugger dead, Venom picks up the woman's purse and taps her on the head before leaping away. Horrified by the entire experience, the woman runs out of the alley screaming. Oh my. Uh, Swinging across the city, Venom tells his symbiote that coming back to San Francisco was a good idea. Venom has decided to give up on his vendetta against Spider Man after deciding he really is a hero and he's so popular that Marvel wants him to be a hero. Relocating to San Francisco.
Anti-hero.
Well, yes. Because, yes, kids, he's a hero, but he's more than willing to snap some necks. Relocating to San Francisco to protect innocents here. With his symbiote turning into street clothes, Eddie Brock goes to a hotel to rent a room for the night. He is recognized by two police officers who try to arrest him, forcing Brock to become Venom and flee. On his way out, he is photographed by a tourist who happens to see him swing away. Hours later in Manhattan, Peter Parker arrives at the Daily Bugle. There he learns from Ben Urich about the Venom sighting in San Francisco. The news gets Peter thinking about how he is responsible for Venom existing. Oh, Lord. Floating head of guilt, kids. He remembers how he brought the symbiote to Earth after the end of the Secret Wars. Later, he discovers that the symbiote was alive and was forced to try and kill it before it permanently bonded to him. However, it
Go
survived.
away, Web of Spider-Man.
Oh my! However, it survived and found Eddie Brock, who hated Spider-Man after the hero's capture of the Sin Eater, exposed his exclusive interviews with the killer war with an imposter.
That wouldn't even be a deal breaker in 2024.
I know.
He
It'd be
gets
like,
on Fox News show, honestly.
are you sure? Are you sure he caught the real killer, or Spider-Man just? As Venom, Eddie Brock and the symbiote became devoted to destroying Spider-Man, resulting in a number of battles. Peter then recalls his
Every
recent.
year like clockwork.
Oh yeah, in the early '90s. Yeah. Peter then recalls his recent encounter with Venom, where he helped Eddie save the life of his ex-wife, Anne Wang. It was then that Venom promised to leave Spider-Man alone if the Wallcrawler stopped coming after him. Still, Peter can't bring himself to honor this deal, so he calls his wife Mary Jane to have her
Boo, Peter.
pack
Boo.
so he can guest star in this miniseries. To have her pack him a bag so he can go to San Francisco to track down Venom. Yes, kid, but yes, kids, the whole deal was made an amazing 375. So I believe another foil cover. Oh, '90s. The following day, and again, his ex-wife Anne, who was the mother of Dylan. So,
Yes. If he could have just snapped her neck then, just give her the old Gwen Stacy, we would not have Dylan.
oh my,
Oh, I tried to save her, but
oh,
geometry, man.
oh geometry. Uh,
Calculus, man.
see, that's all. Let's see, it looks like he should be end his sexual encounters my way. Snap that neck. Oh my. Again, kid, the views of Lilith Hellfire do not necessarily express the views of the Capes and Lunatics podcast. Oh
I would
my.
hope not.
Well, again, maybe he was hypnotized.
Superior puss.
Happens.
He's a big dumb meathead. Come on. Man, you got too many damn drops. Where's my choke that chicken? All right.
Oh
Uh,
no! Choke that chicken. There you
there
go.
you go. Thank you. The following day, Eddie Brock is walking through a park trying to figure out a solution to his housing situation. He happens upon a group of homeless people being harassed by a bunch of men in suits. Brock confronts the men, and when they pull guns on him, Brock turns into Venom. Not far away, Spider Man is swinging through the city when he hears gunshots. He spots Venom fighting the gunmen, and thinking the men are police officers, he leaps in to stop Venom. Brock stops Spider Man and tries to convince the wall crawler that these are not police officers. Spider Man quickly believes Eddie when his spider sense begins going off, and the pair narrowly avoid a stream of gunfire. While Spider-Man finishes with the shooters, Venom shields the homeless people from the bullets. By the time Spider-Man finishes wrapping up the gunmen, he notices that Venom and the homeless people have disappeared. Later in Oregon, retired Army General Orwell Taylor watches a news report about the battle between Spider-Man and Venom. While looking at a photo of his son, Orwell places a call and tells his men to get ready to mobilize.
We're on the move, boys.
Meanwhile, back in San Francisco, Eddie Brock is being led through a massive tunnel by the homeless people he saved. He has been invited to their sanctuary and thanks for his help. They explain that their sanctuary has become the target of developer Roland Treese. However, not everyone is
Screw
fallen.
those real estate guys. I've never met
No.
a real estate mogul that's worth its salt.
Yeah,
Said what I said.
don't become president. Uh, However, not everyone is fond of Brock coming to their community. However, they're just however, this dissenter is told that it is up to the council to decide if Venom can stay in their home. Rounding the corner, they run into some of Roland Treese's diggers, men in massive tunneling exosuits. Eddie turns to Venom to defend his new charges. Unfortunately, the diggers have him outnumbered and overpowered once they begin unleashing their sonic cannons on the symbiote. One of the diggers then hits Venom so hard that the ground underneath them gives way. The pair fall into the middle of an early 20th century city. Disoriented from the fall, Venom thinks that they have fallen through time. Um,
Yeah. There's
um,
tons of cities under cities, bro. If you know, you know.
exactly.
I mean, New York's built on top of like three of them. It's crazy stuff, man.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, thoughts on this?
Now we could just push through, give our thoughts at the end. We can give our
Okay.
favorite issues and all that stuff at the
Eh,
end. Lot to get through.
and this cover shows up in the Sony CD, the Sony game,
Oh, what Spider-Man versus
or not
Spider-Man?
Sony, Sega. I think it's a Sega.
Yeah, that's from way back.
Well, 1993. God, I think they probably after that the next. You remember Maximum Carnage? Did you ever play the Maximum Carnage game?
No, can't say that I have.
I played it. Oh my god, that was weird. That was wow. Played it at a friend's house. That was weird.
Maybe I can find it on the emulator.
All right, Venom, Lethal Protector #2 from March 1993. War and Pieces. Get it, kid?
Oh boy. I just
Uh,
know that was Danny Figueroff's idea. I just know it.
no,
I
I don't
can't
know.
prove
I
it, but I know it.
I think I think Michelini had that kind of sense of humor. I don't know. All right, same team. While trying to protect some of San Francisco's homeless, Venom battled the diggers that have been hired by Trees International to rouse the homeless of the area. The battle has caused them to fall through the ground into an underground city that looks like it has come out of the early 20th century. At first, the digger thinks they have fallen through time, and this shock allows Venom to recover in the sonic cannons and fight back. The digger realizes that this is actually an underground city that their employer has been looking for. The homeless population that have made this place home try to fight back against the
Let
intruders.
the homeless people have something. My God.
Exactly. When one is murdered by the diggers, Venom becomes furious and slays the diggers, ending the danger. However, the locals are ready to start shooting at Venom until one of the homeless points out that he helped save their lives. However, another member of this community is against Venom being among them because of his criminal past. Hearing this, one of their leaders tells them it is up to their council to decide. Allowed to stay for the time being, Eddie Brock is taken on a tour of this underground city by a woman named Elizabeth. She explains to him that this city is part of San Francisco that was collapsed into the ground during the big earthquake of 19. This says 1908, but wasn't it 1906? It was undiscovered until recent times by the homeless population who
Are you
decided to
questioning
stick with
David
their home.
Michelinie's historical skills?
No. The synopsis says 1908, but I believe in the comic it said 1906. It doesn't horse. I believe historical fact is 1906.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, above ground, Spider-Man continues his search for Venom, but has found no trace of him. He decides to go to the local newspaper to search for clues in his past. Looking through computer records, the wall crawler finds a record of Venom's father, Carl Brock, and decides to pay him a visit.
Boo.
Well, which this plot line goes nowhere. While back underground, Eddie Brock learns that the council has voted against him living in their community. One of the most vocal members against Venom is Reverend Rakeshaw, who believes that Brock is an abomination of God. Well,
You're
that's what
not
sold.
wrong.
That's what sold in the 90s. Uh, Still, Eddie decides to accept their ruling and promises to keep their society a secret. Once back on the surface, Eddie comes up with an idea on how to win the Undergrounders' favor. He decides to go after Roland Trees, the developer who's trying to force them out of their home. He then just changes into Venom and swings away. At that moment, Peter Parker pays a visit to the mansion owned by Carl Brock. When he asks Carl if he is the father of Eddie Brock, Carl responds by slamming the door in Peter's face.
As you should. You don't want to
Oh
be
yeah,
reminded.
I mean, a reporter comes to his door. What is he supposed to think? By this time, Venom has arrived at the head office of Trees International and slips through the security system. In a showroom, he goes over to designs for a park renovation that Trees is doing as a gift for the city of San Francisco. However, he suspects that there is something more going on here than appears. That's when Venom is discovered by security, who open fire upon him. Brock plays possum until they get close enough for him to attack. Well, back at Carl Brock's house, Peter Parker changes his tactics and returns as Spider Man, telling Carl that they need to talk. Ba- Back at Trees International, Venom finishes incapacitating the guards, but with more coming, he decides to take his leave. As he leaps out of the building, he is spotted by someone searching the area in a surveillance van. In a nearby alley, Venom begins planning on what to do about Roland Trace. That's when he is blasted by a flamethrower, knocking him to the ground. That's when he is confronted by Orwell Taylor, who wants revenge on Brock for killing his son. In order to eliminate the symbiote, he has called together his armored mercenaries he calls the Jury.
Should have been the executioners, but it was taken. I know.
What?
Should have been the executioners, but I believe it was taken at the time.
Probably. All right, so.
Keep going. We'll get
Okay.
to it.
Okay. Then again, the son was killed in Amazing 315 because he was the guard that Venom killed on his way out of the vault.
Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be shouldn't be a Leo if you can't take that risk, you know what I mean?
people are innocent until they get in Eddie's way. You know, he's innocent. Is he innocent? No, he's stopping me from doing what I want to do.
I mean, sadly that's the
Narcissist.
yeah, that's everybody. Some way, shape, or form.
Oh my! Hellfire calling herself out. All right, so let's get to Venom, Lethal Protector number 3 from April 1993. A Verdict of Violence. Same team so far. Venom is ambushed by the armored mercenaries of the Jury. They quickly incapacitate him with their sonic blasters. When Eddie Brock asks why they are attacking him, Orwell Taylor explains that he has come to avenge the death of his son Hugh. Although Brock insists that he didn't want to harm anyone, Taylor points out that he murdered nonetheless. He then ordered Screech to use his sonic blasters to kill Venom. However, Eddie's symbiote is long enough to recover from the first attack and breaks free. Outnumbered and overpowered, Venom decides to flee the scene before they can weaken him again. Meanwhile, at Treach International, Roland Treach looks at over the damage caused by Venom when he came to the facility. Seeing how ineffectual his security was, Treach decides to do something to protect his park project in case Venom decides to return. While at the home of Carl Brock, Spider-Man has come to question Carl about his son Eddie. Unfortunately, Carl Brock considers his son dead to him and tells the wall crawler to leave.
You need to leave.
Nah. As Brock the Elder walks out of the room, Spider-Man is approached by the maid, Sharon Dempsey, who offers to tell the web slinger everything he wants to know.
No. I just like at the end, he's like, well, that's a cool story, bro, but it really didn't help me. Nah.
I know. Again, we're using this.
Backstory.
We're using this as an excuse to get into the origin of Eddie Brock.
Yeah, hilarious. Watergate? Watergate. That's all I have to say.
Well, again, 1993. Sliding time. At that moment, on the Golden Gate Bridge, Venom stops his flight from the jury. He admits to his symbiotic other that it was cowardly to run away from the jury, but it was necessary. He pushes this out of his mind as he wants to know what Roland Treach is trying to do with the land owned by the Undergrounders. Unfortunately, his thoughts are interrupted when the jury launches a surprise attack on Venom. The attack abruptly ends when Venom seemingly disappears. Unaware of the symbiote's ability to camouflage itself, the jury take off to try and find their target, unaware that Venom is still at the scene of the battle. While back at the Brock mansion, Sharon Dempsey tells Spider Man about Eddie Brock's youth. She begins by telling how Carl was deeply in love with his wife, Jamie. Unfortunately, she died giving birth to Eddie. As Eddie grew up, he was provided with everything he could ever
Oh,
want.
dead mother syndrome. That explains it.
Mm-hmm. But yes, he was provided everything he could ever want except the love and attention a child needs.
It's the old Norman Osborn treatment I see.
Exactly. Unfortunately, none of this was enough to gain the attention of Carl Brock. Uh, After a major political scandal, Eddie Brock decided to enter the field of journalism. See, keep it vague. From there, he got his job at the Daily Globe, where he began a series of interviews with a man alleging to be the serial killer known as the Sin Eater. When the man was exposed as a hoax, not only was Eddie fired from his job, he was disowned by his father. Uh, Spider Man thanks Sharon for the information and leaves. However, he can't think of anything from that story that could help him on his search. At that moment at Treach International, Roland Treach watches the news reports about Venom's recent clash with the jury on the Golden Gate Bridge. He is concerned that Venom might somehow jeopardize the millions of dollars of gold he believes is hidden in the underground. Elsewhere in the city, Eddie Brock tries to blend in with the locals. However, he is spotted by
Good luck.
he's spotted by one of the jury's watchdogs. He tries to take Venom down with a sonic grenade. He was blended in. He had the mullet and everything. Come on.
No, if you know about San Francisco, then you know about San Francisco. Eddie was not blended in at all.
However, Brock quickly recovers from the blast and tries to fight back. That's when he was ambushed by Sentry of the jury. Before Venom can engage his foe, a helicopter arrives and strikes Sentry with a missile. Brock is invited aboard. Someone speaking offers sanctuary. Aboard the chopper, it's Roland Treach via video uplink. Treach offers Venom a position as head of security, and upon hearing that, this also includes the park renovation project, and accepts the job when he is told that it does. Soon, the helicopter takes Venom to a private compound in the Mojave Desert. Inside, he is about to trash the facility when he is penned in by a wall of flame. He is suddenly confronted by Carlton Drake, leader of the Life Foundation.
Oh
He has-
wow.
I
I forgot
know.
about these guys.
I know. He has been assisting with helping Roland Treat with his problem. When Venom refuses to help, Drake explains that he is not interested in recruiting Venom, but his children.
Bum, bum, bum.
And no, not Dylan kids. All right, so keep the train rolling.
Oh yeah. This is where it heats up though, I will say. I was like, okay, let's see what's up.
Oh yeah. Well, again, we had a lot of setup, and again, I think they were looking for an excuse to do an Eddie Brock backstory. Yeah.
Yeah. Me, it's about damn time, honestly.
Well, yeah. Uh, Hell, kid, this Lilith and a symbiote. All right. Venom Lethal Protector number
If
4,
only I could be that cool.
May 1993. Deadly Birth.
See, kids,
And
this is why keep your legs closed.
oh my! That's what Eddie Brock's mom said.
Ooh.
All right. We got new penciler Ron Lim. Venom has been taken prisoner at a Life Foundation facility in the Mojave Desert, owned by the Life Foundation. The Foundation's leader, Carlton Drake, has Venom contained in a sphere of sonic energy to keep the ruthless vigilante contained. He explains to Venom that he was hired by Roland Treach to harvest the symbiote eggs that are growing inside Venom's living costume. Using a sonic device, Drake manages to extract an egg that he dubs the last son of Venom. Oh, sweet summer child.
If only.
Meanwhile, in Santa Cruz, the police are chasing a car full of men who have just robbed a convenience store. The chase comes to an abrupt end when the getaway car is stopped by Spider Man. The wall crawler easily wraps up the thieves for the authorities. After being thanked by a police officer, the web slinger asks for some change so he can make a call to his wife, Mary Jane. Yeah, kids. Don't think we forgot, kids. Back in New York City, he gets Mary Jane up to date on his search for Venom, saying that he has come to Santa Cruz to investigate sightings of Venom-like monsters that have been attacking public places. He's going to follow up on another lead. Well, back in the day, I love it's like, oh, sorry, I interrupted you in the middle of aerobics.
Let's
Uh,
get physical.
we're about to. Well, back in the desert, Venom discovers that the containment sphere has no effect on his human half, giving him a possible means of escaping captivity. Later, Spider Man arrives at a local mall when he is suddenly under attack by a new female symbiote. While back at the Life Foundation compound, Carlton Drake is told by his scientists that they have succeeded in bringing the new symbiote to maturity. Using the same process, they were able to germinate 4 more symbiotes and match them with security personnel. While everyone else is preoccupied, Venom withdraws his symbiote from his arm and grabs one of the technicians by the throat. He then tosses him into the computer that powers the containment sphere, freeing himself. When Venom tries to escape, he is incapacitated by a sonic blaster. Considering their prisoner, Carlton Drake decides that Eddie Brock has outlived his usefulness and he will be eliminated. Uh,
Well, we know
sure.
that's not true. That was a fucking lie.
What?
That was a lie.
I know. Well, back below, he sells too well. Well, back below the surface of the city, Elizabeth, one of the undergrounders living in an underground city, explains to her son why Eddie Brock wasn't allowed to stay among the people. This is met with criticism from Nathaniel and Reverend Rakestraw. When Elizabeth reminds them how Venom saved them from the Diggers, Rakestraw explains that their lives are in the hands of God now. Wait, what are those? Okay. All right. Back at the mall, Spider Man battles the female symbiote and quickly discovers that it doesn't trigger his spider sense, much like Venom and Carnage. Still, Spider Man's experience allows him to get the advantage against her. Realizing that she is losing the fight, the female symbiote radios for an evacuation. In order to escape, she endangers one of the mall goers, forcing Spider Man to save their life while the symbiote escapes. However, Spider Man manages to spot the escape craft and snags a ride on it as it flies away. Meanwhile, Roland Treach has kidnapped one of the homeless undergrounders and subjects him to torture in order to learn the location of the lost gold he is really seeking from his park renovation plans. At that moment, Spider-Man arrives at the Life Foundation complex and begins looking for Venom. When he is caught by security, it sets off an alarm. Watching the security monitors, Carlton Drake decides it is time for Eddie Brock to die. He orders his technicians to sever the bond between Eddie Brock and his symbiote. With the process complete, Drake contacts Spider-Man via a video screen and shows him the apparently lifeless body of Eddie Brock. Spider-Man can hardly believe this, unaware of the fact that there are now 5 symbiotes in the facility looking to destroy him.
Damn. Poor Eddie.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, the female symbiote is not identified as Scream until Civil War Battle Damage Report number 1. So this is like at
Damn.
least 10 years after this. They don't give that female symbiote a name.
Well, it's a female symbiote. What do you want?
Mhm. The rest of the 90s, they were like, yeah, what's symbiote doing when he's in the story? Oh, let's just use Boobs McGee. Okay.
Sad but true, probably.
It was the 90s. What symbiote they want to use? The one with the tutors. Okay, yeah. Meanwhile, if it was Chichester, it would have been like, what symbiote do you want to use? Anyone but Carnage. Have him. All right. Venom Lethal Protector number 5. From June 1993. Symbiocide.
Yikes.
Yes. Again, Ron Lim's still here. I think he finishes up the series here. At a laboratory in the Mojave Desert, Carlton Drake of the Life Foundation has seemingly killed Venom by separating Eddie Brock from his symbiote. Showing this to Spider Man via a video feed, telling the wall crawler that he has no reason to stay. However, Spider Man continues to fight through security in order to determine for himself if Venom is truly dead. That's when one of the doctors examining Brock's body report that Eddie is still alive but in a coma due to the shock of being separated from his other. Spider-Man hears this and continues to fight through security. Drake then orders his scientists to prep Brock for dissection. He also orders their new symbiote warriors to destroy Spider-Man. Elsewhere in the complex, Spider-Man is shocked when he is confronted by 5 new symbiotes.
He was like, this is
Meanwhile,
getting out of hand, bro.
I know, the 90s. Meanwhile, back in San Francisco, this is the moment again after the creation of Carnage where they're like, "Hey man, symbiotes sell."
You get a symbiote and you get a symbiote.
Mhm. This was the very first Venom War, kids. Meanwhile, back in San Francisco, Roland Treach is overseeing the park revitalization project. Wanting to get at the gold below the park in the underground city, he intends to use a large number of explosives. From the bushes, some of the undergrounders are horrified to see what Treach is planning, and they realize it was a mistake to eject the venom from their hidden sanctuary. Well, back at the Life Foundation compound, Eddie Brock wakes up just before the scientists begin conducting the autopsy. They try to incapacitate him with sonic weapons, but without his symbiotic other, the weapon has no effect on him. While a few floors below, Spider Man realizes that 5 symbiotes are a bit too much for him to handle. The battle is being watched by Carlton Drake, who is impressed with the symbiote's performance. When they destroy Spider Man, Drake believes that they will have proven themselves as the perfect enforcers in the Life Foundation's secret compounds. Spider Man continues to be on the defensive until Eddie Brock arrives. Even though he is stark naked and doesn't have the protection of his symbiote, he still tries to face his 5 offspring. While back in San Francisco, the Undergrounders debate changing their decision on recruiting Venom as their protector. As with the previous discussion on the issue, Reverend Rake Strauss refuses to change his decision. Oh, yeah, religion. At,
Stubborn.
mhm. At this moment, Spider Man and Eddie Brock retreat into one of the labs where they find sonic guns and incapacitate the symbiotes. Brock wants to kill them because they are no longer innocent, but Spider Man won't let him. While they are arguing, the other symbiotes recover and destroy their sonic guns. On the retreat again, they happen upon the containment unit that is holding Eddie's symbiote. He quickly frees it and becomes Venom once more. As he struggles with one of the symbiotes, Spider Man tries to find a weapon he can use to stop the creature. The device he eventually activates is the ray that sped up the symbiote's development. When it strikes Venom's attacker, it causes the symbiotic substance on his arm to crumble to dust. Venom wants to use it to completely destroy the symbiotes, but Spider Man protests as it may kill the human hosts. While the wall crawler is distracted, Venom uses a tendril from his symbiote to strangle the hero into unconsciousness.
Yikes.
When the symbiotes attack again, Venom activates the device, seemingly destroying the symbiotes and their hosts. Spider Man comes around just as this happens, and he is horrified by the wanton destruction of life. Seeing the death of his symbiotes, Carlton Drake decides to cut his losses and escape. This triggers the self destruct sequence at the secret base. Uh, as Spider Man rushes to the hangar to find an aircraft to escape in, he realizes that he has lost track of Venom in the confusion. Spider Man manages to escape moments before the compound explodes. Although we saw driver to take him to San Francisco so he can take care of unfinished business.
As you do.
Yes. All right. So we ready to wrap this up?
Yay! We're almost there, kids. And then I can spill my thoughts.
6 issues. All right. Spill that tape. All right. So now Venom Lethal Protector number 6 from July 1993. Frisco Kill. Uh, all right. After escaping the Life Foundation, Venom goes to the mansion owned by Roland Treach in order to find out why he's trying to renovate a park in San Francisco and evict the homeless who live there. He finds no trace of Treach, but he manages to get a hold of one of his bodyguards. Disarming the man and forcing his way through the security systems, Venom threatens to kill him unless he explains what Treach is trying to do. The guard has no choice but to tell the whole plot. He explains that this part of the city that was swallowed up by the massive earthquake of 1906 also claimed a large cache of gold. Roland Treach learned of this underground city and sought to claim the gold in secret, as it could be claimed by the government if it becomes public knowledge. This plot became difficult to accomplish when he discovered a group of homeless people living in this underground city. This time, Treach intends to set off a large number of explosives to eliminate all opposition and get the gold he seeks. Venom rushes to the park in order to stop Treat from carrying this out. Spider-Man has just arrived at the location, having made a connection between Treach, the Life Foundation, and Venom. When Venom arrives on the scene, Spider-Man manages to ambush him thanks to San Francisco's trademark fog. However, during
Good to see it's good for something.
However, during the fight, Brock manages to snare Spider-Man in his symbiote's material. With the wall crawler incapacitated, Venom asks his foe for help. This comes as a shock to Spider-Man, who agrees to help after Venom explains the situation. The pair interrupts Treach and the construction workers before they can set off explosives. However, Treach is not unprepared and unleashes the diggers upon the two heroes. As the pair trash the diggers, the battle is being observed by some of the undergrounders who are surprised that Venom has come back to protect them after they turned him away from their secret society. Even though his plans are ruined, Roland Treach still intends to set off the explosives and flee to the trailer where the detonator is located. Venom tries to go after him, but a spark from a damaged digger ignites fuel splash around the trailer, surrounding it in fire. With Spider-Man occupied with the rest of the diggers, Venom risks his life to send his other through the flames to pull Treach out. He succeeds in stopping Treach from blowing up the underground city. With the diggers incapacitated, Spider-Man is surprised that Venom risked his life to stop Treach, but also spared his life. Venom points out that Spider-Man would have done nothing different. When the authorities arrive on the scene, Venom manages to slip away before Spider-Man can apprehend him. Later, Peter Parker is at the San Francisco International Airport waiting to take a flight home. He takes time to call his wife Mary Jane to tell her how things turned out. Although he lost track of Venom, he is convinced that his foe will keep his promise to stop coming after Spider-Man. And he's like, I can't spend my whole life tracking him down. I'd miss you too much.
So
Yeah.
plus.
Remember when he actually cared about Mary Jane Gibson?
I know I
Later,
do.
I know. Later, Eddie watches as government workers recover the lost gold as Roland Treach revealed his plans. He is then approached by some of the undergrounders who invite him back to their underground city. There, the council reveals that they have overturned their decision and are now welcoming Venom in with open arms. The only one who still protests this decision is Reverend Rakestraw, who thinks they will come to regret this. However, Venom assures them that he will defend these people from any threat that may try to harm them. The end.
Aw. He found a home and a family. Aw.
Aw, meathead.
I think this is a pretty well done series, especially
Mhm.
for it to be 6 issues. The pacing's pretty solid. I like the backstory. They
Mhm.
give you action in every single issue. This is modern comics. This is something modern comics can never do.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, it's 6 issues, but it didn't feel like 6 issues to me. This went by very fast.
Mhm. No, there
I
wasn't it.
like humanizing Brock a little bit. I like seeing like the development of like the symbiote and Brock's relationship as well. And like I love when they make Spider Man the bad guy. I love it.
Yeah, so we're setting up the anti-hero status quo here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, too, I mean, I know we're gonna get more series after this, but it's like, yeah, we kind of didn't go anywhere with that father. The jury thing's kind of still up in the air, but
You gotta leave some threads undone just in case, which is what I feel like they did, although it still never actually really went anywhere. But still, people like that. People come in and they get different ideas and want to do different things, and that's fine. And it's
mm,
still there's a thread dangling, as we've now found out, they're willing to go back 30 years and
mhm,
follow up on a thread. Shout out to JMD Mateus.
exactly. And again, I mean, they needed 6 issues. I mean, they were doing a lot here. I mean, setting up
So much. Like I said,
Venom.
I don't like. I could even done one more, honestly. Like,
Yeah, we've got Venom's new status quo, and yeah, a new symbiote.
yeah, all the symbiote, which they come back. What is that? Carnage USA or whatever. The symbiotes come back in.
Something like that. Oh god, they all run together for
Yeah, it's really interesting that's where I always forget that's where these come from. So yeah, no, I like I said, solid, solid, solid. Like I wish the movies would have done a little bit more with the comics, honestly.
yeah,
Like it's got a solid footing and like, but it's just so awkward to not be able to use Spider Man for the origin and like the beef
yeah,
with Eddie Brock. And it's like you kind of lose a little bit of Eddie Brock without that, foil there, as it were.
exactly.
So
And again, I don't know if any movie's ever gotten Venom right. I mean, even look at Spider-Man 3. The symbiote just falls out of the sky. It's like okay.
yeah, I mean, to get into Secret War and that whole thing too is a pain. I get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, look what the animated series did. I mean, it came back on a space shuttle. It's like okay.
Yeah, which is what I thought the movie was gonna do, but they're like, "Oh shit, that Ryan Reynolds movie's Life," which is also a Sony movie, already kind of did the origin story, so we're kind of upchuck the butt here.
Oh my.
So yeah, I thought that was fine. I was like, that's my headcanon because it is a Sony property that Life is the prequel to
Mm,
Venom. I think it came out the year before, even I want to say.
maybe can't remember, but yeah, yeah. I had heard a lot of people saying that. Yeah, that's like the Venom or yeah.
Yeah, it came out in 2017, so and then Venom came out in 2018, so yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
So anyway, yeah, solid, solid. Like they just don't make them like this anymore. They
And
don't.
again, yeah, especially for the time, and this could have obviously just been
This it didn't feel like a cash grab. It felt like a
no,
natural evolution of the character and people wanting to know more about the character.
exactly.
Unlike Carnage, which I was just like, I could always do without a Carnage book. It's like when it happens and it's good, I'm like, oh, hey, that's cool. But then I'm always thinking, why do we need a Carnage book? Every single time with Venom, I'm like, I kind of understand when we get a Venom book. I'm like, no, yeah, it's been a while. Let's see what the old meathead's up to.
Wow, boy, look at her trying to score brownie points with somebody on the Carnage debate.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
I love guts and gore and all that, and like I think I've just my prefrontal lobe cortex. It's developed, and I can't enjoy it the way I used to.
Well, yeah, I think that's the problem with Carnage is like you got to be careful because they want to give him like like stuff to actually like a
But your
something new.
actual host that everybody likes is a serial killer, so
Yeah, he's basically just a wild animal, but it's a wild killing animal. But it's like yeah, we want to flesh him out, but yeah, it's like he's a serial killer. I mean, how much
it's
can you
like, babes,
do?
we have Venom, like we have Venom at home.
Wild like an animal.
So yeah, no, I read this one, Venom 2, like again, like I hadn't read in a really long time when the second movie came out. And
Oh,
every
nice.
time I reread it, I enjoy it. I find something else to chuckle about. So
Yeah,
highly rereadable, which is a good sign of a comic, I think.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course it is.
Solid A across the board. 3 and 5 are my favorite issues out of the whole bunch.
Oh, nice.
What about you?
Um, let me see. I mean, it's hard to pick. Might be the last two or three because that's when stuff really gets rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's kind of hard too because it's like the first was it the first three
Yeah,
were
it
that
goes 3, 5, and 1 are like top three for sure. So
yeah. I mean the first three were Bagley art and then the second three were Ron Lim art, both great artists. So it's just like ugh, I don't know who to pick. But yeah, no. Overall, it's great. And again, it's by Michelini, who was writing the main book at the times in the Amazing Spider-Man. So
yeah, that helps because I feel like some
Venom was
people don't
like in
get Venom.
character. Yeah,
Yeah,
at least as he was appearing in Amazing Spider-Man.
yeah.
Because like last episode when we got to the Tooth and Claws, like well, I was like, why isn't Michelini writing this? But I was like, by that point, he might have been gone because I don't think he was even writing Spider-Man by that point. So I was just like, Oh, I wonder if they were like trying to get him to write most of the Venom stuff, and then he left, and they were just like, okay, just
Have fun, Larry.
I don't think Larry didn't even do them all, did he? I think they were. I wonder if it was just like, okay, who wants to do Venom this month or this miniseries?
Yeah, like I said, I totally think that those are the vibes.
Yeah, because they're like, it's still selling pretty good. Who wants to write it? All right. So, anything else?
No, I think we solidly covered this version of Venom Lethal Protector, and it'll be interesting contrast next week.
That's right. Because where are we coming next week, kids? Venom Lethal Protector. That's but the 5-issue miniseries from 2022. So
Bum, bum, bum.
be one less, Lilith. And then next week, your two Ultimate Spider casts will be Silver Sable and the Wild Pack 18 and 19.
Ray,
And
I expect feedback, please. Justin, make it
Justin,
happen.
Justin, if you ain't here, you better send feedback. And Venom Lethal Protector 2, also that week, which has Silver Sable in it.
We're doing our very best Marvel impersonation to get to 300 in
Uh,
time.
hey, Spider Man twice, 2 times. Well, they do twice a month, but two times a week. Here we go. And then, of course, yes, we'll finish out with Venom Separation Anxiety 1 through 4 from 1994, and then Venom Separation Anxiety 1 through 5 from 2024.
They're literally out of ideas, Phil. Like, I'm so.
What, Marvel?
Yeah.
Well, again, I think they were capitalizing on all these, like, miniseries set in the 90s. So
I
it's
know.
like, remember when Venom had all these miniseries with different names? I'm trying to remember. I think Michelini wrote most or all those current Venom miniseries set in the 90s. So it's the same writers, Lethal Protector. And then, kids, if you don't know what's coming in episode 300, you ain't been paying attention. It's gonna be
Send us your party picture.
our farewell to Zeb Wells. Farewell, farewell, Zeb
Celebrate
Wells.
good times. Zeb's gone.
Ah. Oh, so yes. Oh yeah. I gotta make. I gotta make
You
up a
need to
version.
call Mikey Flash. He needs to make that just for that one.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about contacting him for something else. Yeah, I need to do that. Yeah. And
Tell
like
him
I
you
said,
that exact.
I need to make up a virtual invitation and post that. Yeah. All right. So send us your thoughts, kids, on Venom Lethal Protector, either one of them, because again, we're going to cover the new one next time. Your favorite Venom stories, what you want to see in Venom, The Last Dance. God, Joker, Venom. It's like everyone's either singing or dancing in these movies. Jeez. All right, so send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes and Lunatics merch, your classic Capes and Lunatics merch. And remember, you must rain the money on us through the Cash App link, or Lilith, we eat your brain.
Make it rain.
The one you actually need, though.
Oh, my. And again, yes, please send us that money. Don't make us be dancing on the pole, because who knows? Especially if it's in San Francisco, who knows what's going to happen? Symbiotes,
West Coast Avengers.
bunch of evil rich men. Yes, so
I mean, it is San Francisco.
that's true.
Tech Valley.
We're gonna get a stripper pole down at Divas.
And of course, the Patreon, where you can find something different, something exclusive every month for me
Something
and
all
Lilith.
new, all different.
Oh, nice. Something amazing.
Something spectacular.
Something web of. Wait, what? Yes, it could be comics, it could be movies, it could be our road trip, it could be the AVN Awards. You never know. So, yes, so subscribe. And again, if you are a subscriber to our Patreon, you can request us to talk specific topics. So, yes.
Oh, like I said, next year we totally should do actual good superhero movies, and we need to get the thoughts of the group. So you should probably get started on
Yes. Why not? See if we can
that. Get Kristen to do the bracket because we kind of fumbled it
oh, yeah.
last time.
See if we can get Kristen in here, Justin. I know Diana Marnell been asking to do some more stuff with us. So superhero movie brackets.
Featuring Charlie Puppet.
That's right. All right. So yes. So find the Patreon on patreon.com/capesandlunatics and find everything at tubespace.ao/capesandlunatics podcast network. That's tubespace.ao/capesandlunatics podcast network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
And well, if it's not on social media, so suck it.
I mean, honestly, nobody should be on social media right
Well,
now. Take a
till
break.
after the election.
Take a break for your mental health, kids. Go
I can
outside, touch some grass, get some fresh air.
I did see you on Facebook the other day. You were like, it's still a hellscape, and that was it.
Well, James Earl Jones died. I need to
Oh,
convince.
true.
2024 has taken so much from us. I'm just so over it.
I know. James Earl Jones. I know.
They got Vader and Mufasa.
I know. If you were gonna hire one person to do a eulogy for a famous person, it would have been James Earl Jones. Rest in peace, sir. All right. Again, next week the symbiote madness continues. More Venom, Lethal Protector. More Venom the next few episodes as we double up
crap.
because.
Are we reviewing the movie on Capes and Lunatics then?
Yes, ma'am. Oh
Okay.
yeah, check out. Stay tuned for that movie review. But until then, swing on back.
Flip it good.